Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Andy, what do you make of this?
With respect to His Excellency the President, I don't think he should continue to take us for fools.
Why do you say that?
Because which full report is he talking about?
The fourth
Which full
report.
report? Which report? Which full report? To delay? To deflate the pressure? And it's surprising to me how the president is saying that they've seen snipers. Snipers of what? We've had Governor Sagoja and the Ministry of Roads and Highways responding to the fourth estate document that came from them that they've put out. So the president is waiting for what he said, which snipers? And he's asking for his office to procure which full report from where? This deception must stop. He promised to reset the country. Is this a reset that the president promised the people of Ghana? Let's not do this. Your commitment was clear. This is an avenue that you said. Look, I've said on another platform here that if it was Uncle Kwesi's CPP, which hadn't been in government under the Fourth Republic, please, you are no longer a member of the CPP.
It doesn't belong to me.
What? You are a member of the CPP.
It doesn't belong to me.
Okay, not okay. If it was the CPP that Senior is a member of, which had made this commitment to the people of Ghana, I would have given them the benefit of the doubt, because at least under the Fourth Republic, they've never been in office. President Mahama has been president before. He was president between 2012 and 2016. He knew at the time that they were making the commitment to the people of Ghana that sole source or single source may be exigent under some circumstances. Yet, he said that it was going to be a thing of the past. So this voodoo engagement with civil society just to take away the pressure that is being brought to bear on his government, it's neither here nor there. He deceived the people of Ghana, and he must be ashamed. These are the bare facts. And the attempt to scapegoat the minister is not going to wash you. It's not going to wash.
Who wants to scapegoat?
But why is he being asked to submit the detailed response of what? Is it being suggested that the big push agenda and the progress of its implementation has never been discussed in cabinet? Has never been? Look, by the grace of God, I've been in cabinet before. There are some ministries that provide reports at every cabinet meeting. National security is one. Foreign affairs is one. Energy is one. Information, roads, education, agri, food security, energy security, education, and roads. The president suggesting that he was not aware. The cabinet of his government was never aware that the big push project, the largest infrastructure investment arguably in history, because I'm not so sure whether any government has expended 73 billion in one financial year to build infrastructure in this country. Wasn't aware? And you turn around when it is absolutely manifest to everybody that the commitment that you made, that sole source will be a thing of the past, you are blatantly executing that same route in awarding these volumes of contract. And interestingly, the ministry is saying that arising out of their quest to be transparent, they themselves published the list of the big push contracts on their website. Do you know that they excluded the procurement method from their report. I have a copy here. They give you the region, agency, project length, contract sum, contractor, and award date. They didn't indicate on the document, which they've pulled down as we speak. As of 2 days ago, it was on their website. So who are they seeking to deceive?
You can confirm this?
I'm telling you, I downloaded this from their website 2 days ago.
And you're saying this same report is no more on their website?
They have pulled it down. Go on the ministry's website now.
Wow.
They've pulled it down. Why do we do this? Why?
Ministry of Roads.
And you say we should clap for you because you've called for an investigation? Investigation about a matter that you are supposed to be fully briefed on? We should clap. It's unbelievable. And our civil society organizations, with the respect, you remain the conscience of this country today. You remain the conscience of this country. Let it not be that because the president invites you to the Jubilee House from time to time, your voices will be drowned. Because this meeting was nothing but a PR gimmick, pure and simple. There's nothing to be investigated. The information came from the ministry itself through a RTI process. Fourth Estate published it in full, not snippets. What is the president talking about? They said we should clap for him.
Yeah, the report wasn't just about what the roads ministry had put out. It was also about the Fourth Estate's own analysis.
Analysis of what? That they enumerated those that have been awarded on source.
I'm sure the reports will go beyond what the road ministry.
Call Sule Brahma, you have his number. Call Sule Brahma.
Analysis of the matter.
Let your producer call Sule Brahma and let's settle this matter now. Whether he has any report over and above what he published for public consumption. Okay. Call him and let's settle the matter now.
All right. Okay.
And amazingly, at that same forum, the president says that LGBTQI is not a priority of his government.
But that's another topic. Okay, so
and you were not surprised to hear that?
Well, we'll discuss that some other time.
Some other time.
Well, it's a trending matter. It's a trending matter.
We are right here.
Away. Don't worry. It was good. Me and you know there. What's your problem? Obviously. Wow.
Look, I've been listening to.
And Sam George was sitting there.
Yes, he was.
Sam George was there.
Yes, he was here.
He wasn't ashamed.
He was here last week.
He wasn't ashamed to hear the president say that. He, the man who said he was never going to make the president know peace. The president would not know peace. Today, LGBTQI is not a priority.
But the government has 4 years.
Unbelievable.
The government has 4 years. Give me some.
4 years.
Yes.
Boss, is it my turn?
3 years actually.
Very well.
Okay. Obviously.
Is it my
yes,
turn?
it's your turn.
Okay. Good.
It's just that unfortunately you just only have 2 minutes. That's only
2 minutes.
Yes. That's the unfortunate thing.
Let's come back let's continue.
3 minutes. We can do 3 minutes.
I'll grant you that.
Make it snappy.
The most important.
Okay.
point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One. What my brother Egyapa and his party are saying, in plain language, is this. We did it. You were against it, and we don't expect you to do it.
No. That's not what we said.
So we are going to take the 2 minutes.
No, but I need to correct you because we have only 2 minutes. That's not what we are saying.
So what are you saying?
The president committed to the people of Ghana that when he's elected into office, forget about that. No, it's not. We are holding him to his commitment. Not a comparison of what NPP did and what NDC did.
No,
not at all.
Please. We had enough time.
Yes, I did. But I need to correct you if you are misleading the public.
Why? Misleading?
Yes, that's exactly what
You
you
admit that you also did so.
I don't have a problem. That's why we lost the election.
Please,
that's why we lost the election. That's why we lost the election. You can make your point without making because don't make attributions to the NPP that is unfounded. I will correct you.
Andy. When you were making your submission, he disagreed with you on some of the things you said. But
he didn't disagree with me.
All the things I said were factual.
All the things I said were factual.
Yes. Uncle,
Were they not?
No.
It's so
Let him come. Yes.
It's so unfair.
Yes, I agree with you.
When we have spent 20
I
minutes now,
apologize.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
respond to
Yeah,
you,
please
and
go
you
ahead.
do
Yeah,
this.
please
It's
go
so
ahead.
unfair.
Yeah, so unfair. I agree with you.
One, you are not denying that you did soul sourcing.
Right.
The only reason why today you're opposed to soul sourcing is that you say, maybe rightly, that this government promised to do away with soul sourcing.
Yes.
Is that not what it is?
Right.
Is that not what I said?
Right.
So that's what you're saying. Okay? All of us are agreed on the fact that soul sourcing is legal. It's not illegal.
Right.
And I'll be surprised if you say that it is illegal. Okay? Now, under the current procurement laws, there are conditions for soul sourcing. Conditions which allow any government, any institution to do soul sourcing under the procurement laws. So the issue is that whether those conditions were present in this particular matter. If I lie, tell me that I lie.
No,
that's the substantive issue. Now, there's now an argument about what a report is and what a report is not. I mean, my brother here says that all that the Fourth Estate did was to collect documents and publish them. But that is not true. You know that it is not true. Because what the Fourth Estate put out, and I'm not challenging the validity of what they put out, is the documents of the ministry plus their own analysis and evaluation of the document. That's a report.
I said that to him. Yeah.
That's a report. That's not just publication of the ministry's documents. It's not true. You understand? Now, the minister has said clearly that the Big Push project includes projects that they inherited.
True.
Like Swami Interchange and so on. And that 23 of those contracts were awarded by the NPP administration under sole sourcing. This is what the minister has said. You cannot ignore that in this discussion. Now, President says that, look, given all the controversy and so on, I've ordered an investigation. It may be true that the president was involved in making all of these decisions, and all of us have been involved in making decisions at one stage or the other without understanding the full dimensions of what we were deciding.
Amazing.
Yes. Yes. Mercer, you want me to come to your ministry and under your stewardship? Some of the decisions which were taken.
Senior,
do you want us to do
whatever
that?
it is,
Do you want us
my
to do
point
that?
is very, very simple.
Pacho Manelande. Pacho Manelande. Yes. Uncle, please.
You see, I understand his position. Because given the time constraints and so on, I'll be making the last submission. He may have disagreements with me and
may not be able to
have the
state
time
it.
to make it. So I
That's
can
true.
understand that frustration.
Right.
But given the fact that you said 20 minutes and I have only 2 minutes, I think it's also
You've spoken for at least
him,
4.
for him to understand my frustration as well. But Moro, confusion it's obvious. You can see confusion, in whatever discipline and so on. Now, I am completely shocked, absolutely shocked, that the football authorities, the sports authorities, waited until it was 75 days to the World Cup before deciding to dismiss the coach. This for me is an indication that the problem cannot be the coach. The problem is the whole administration of football. You understand?
Yes, sir.
How come that they discovered only 75 days to this major tournament that the coach was bad? And the coach has been around for how long? So this speaks to a major problem with football administration. And I think that it's important for us to focus properly, to remove the focus from the coach to football administration generally in our country.
Right.
Listen, a coach has to deal with many things. One of the things that a coach has to deal with is the technical skills of the players. You understand?
Right.
In addition to that, the coach has to understand the temperament of the players, their emotional build-up, and so on. The coach has to have an idea, about the social, economic, psychological, and other problems of the players. Right. You're not going to feel the player who is in the midst of bereavement. You may not want to feel the player who is in the midst of bereavement, or a player whose children have failed the paternity test, and so on. All kinds of things goes into the selection of players and their deployment. I am not sure that a new coach can grasp all of these different variants in 71 days. It is impossible. He has to be a magician. You understand? So this decision to change the coach, even if he was the worst coach in the world, 75 days before a tournament is reckless in the extreme. And I want to put that on record. I think this is a particularly reckless move. You understand? Now, when you talk about the Black Stars, we are talking about the national pride, the national identity, the national contribution to football. So sometimes in football, you talk about the French style of play.
Yeah.
You talk about the German style of play and so on. Because teams bring something on board. It's not just about picking caps and so on. It's about what you are bringing on board. This gentleman who finally discovered the science of 4-2-4 formation.
Right.
You understand? Right. Football, to some extent, is also a science. There was a Ghanaian coach, I believe, some time ago,
Samadi,
who decided that rather than play 11-11,
right,
he would play 10-11.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the water system.
No, and it achieved results and so on. Right. He decided that he was not going to play 11-11. He played 10-11 and achieved results. I've forgotten what his name was. You understand? So coaching it's much more complicated than we make it seem and so on. Now I sit here and I'm watching the debate about who becomes the next coach and so on. We've had this debate many times over. If you have a coach who doesn't know Kwadasu Park in Kumasi, you have a problem on your hand. If you have a coach who has never been to the Kotobabi Park, you have a problem. How is the coach able to identify authentic Ghanaian talent? You understand? So most of the time you employ coaches and all they do is to travel from Germany to Britain, to France, to Netherlands, and so on, looking for people who, to the best of our knowledge, have no direct link with Ghana, who don't understand Ghana, who don't know where Ghana is even on the map. You understand? People who don't know what Kunkunte is, and so on. and these are the people who are representing us. They are our representatives. That's a problem. And that is why local content in the formation of the Black Star team leaves a lot to be desired. Because the coaches don't know nothing about the country. They don't know anything about our national league. They don't know anything about how calls are developed and so on. So we give them the post. They just go around Europe mainly, selecting people who may have the slightest link to Ghana. Somebody whose mother is half Ghanaian, who was born in Germany, has never been to Ghana, and so on. Oh, he's playing in the European League, bam, they grab him, put him in the Black Star. Is that the Black Star?
He has better exposure.
Is that the Black Star? Is that a Ghanaian team? First of all, your coach is non-Ghanaian. Many of your players are Ghanaians by convenience. Ghanaians by convenience. So where is that passion for Ghana? Where is that love for Ghana? Where is that commitment to do something extraordinary, which may even involve injury to the player and so on? Where is your self-coffee spirit in that player? Where is the agrifin spirit in that player? Where is the full spirit in that player? Where is the Robert Mercer spirit in that player? It's not there. You understand? These are people who are playing for convenience. And that is why they prioritize the European League over our international championships. Why? There have been cases where some of them have said that, look, I have an impending European important game, and I'm not going to play in your national championships, either on the continental scale or whatever, to get injured, to miss my opportunity of playing for the European side. Because that's where they make their money.
Well, we see some of these people who give these kinds of excuses are Ghanaian, born Ghanaian, raised here, played all our local leagues and traveled abroad and starts to play for some of these top teams in Europe. They make these excuses. These are born and bred. They eat the kokonte, they play.
Fantastic, fantastic. So you're making my point about commitment.
Right. So no, the point I'm trying to make is that the commitment doesn't only come from those who were born and bred
but
here.
That's an ingredient.
Yes, it is.
Unless you want to dismiss it as an ingredient.
But there are also people who were actually born outside.
Commitment.
Who were scouted, brought to play for the. I mean, Junior Agogo, for instance, he wasn't raised here, but you saw his commitment to the Black Stars. So it's not a case of everybody who was born outside doesn't have commitment.
If you can give me a case,
that's fine.
That's fine. If you can give me a case, of somebody who was not born here, who was not raised here, who doesn't have emotional, political, and cultural attachments to Ghana. Who has displayed more commitment than people who were groomed here, then we'll be making a point.
Okay.
But to say that some of the people who were groomed here are like them doesn't make a point.
If you take this player, for instance, Thomas Partey, who has consistently come under some criticisms for his level of commitment towards the Black Stars. But Thomas Partey, born, bred.
You still don't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that
it is possible. One example.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is possible. You haven't given me one example.
No, Thomas Partey.
No. You haven't given me one example of somebody who had no cultural links.
Right, to Ghana.
And other links to Ghana, whose commitment is higher than people who were groomed in Ghana.
So I mentioned Junior Agogo. Junior Agogo. I mean, we all saw what Junior Agogo came when he was given the chance to play for the Black Stars.
You still don't get me.
Okay.
No,
maybe I don't get it.
I'm saying that give me an example of somebody who doesn't have these links that I've mentioned.
Political, cultural.
Whose level of commitment is higher than a locally brewed Ghanaian player.
Okay.
That's the point that I was asking. So you haven't been able to give me that example.
No, I get the point.
You understand?
Because examples I'm giving are those who are Ghanaians who are applying their trade abroad.
Exactly.
So
exactly. So you haven't given me the example that I asked for.
Yes. You're right.
But listen, I'm also very seriously worried about the selection of foreign coaches for a number of reasons. One, the manner in which we have selected foreign coaches has tended to play our own inferiority complexes.
True.
Okay. You employ a foreign coach and pay him 10 times what you pay the Ghanaian coach for doing the same job.
Yes.
What signal are you sending to the world? Okay? You employ a foreign coach, give him conditions of service which are 10 times better than the Ghanaian. And in fact, our history shows that some of the Ghanaian coaches have done extremely well, better than the foreign coaches that they have employed.
Absolutely.
So what is the rationale for that? You understand? It's just this inferiority complex which finds expression in sports administration. I'm completely worried.
In fact, Kwesi, all the 4 cups that we won, the last one being 82, we all won by Ghanaian coaches.
But that's the point I'm making.
Not even one.
That's the point I'm making. So this complex of inferiority, which leads us on this path, I think is repugnant in the extreme. Okay. Now, I'm sure all of us have been watching these matches, especially you. I know you love football to bits, But all of us have been watching these matches.
Yeah.
Watch the matches. Anytime there's a major development in the game, a goal is scored, a penalty, or whatever, the cameras just pan to the coach. The cameras pan to the coach. They pan to the bench. Don't you feel embarrassed when we are watching these games? And there's an incident and the camera pans to a coach. And that coach is flipping different. Doesn't look Ghanaian in any way. The black star has to be the black star. Black star. The black star of Africa. It has to reflect in who you choose as a coach. In who your players are. In the tactics you employ in the game and so on. Black star. That's the black star of Africa.
Not white star.
That's the black star. Nkrumah's dream of the black star. You understand? But you see, our current football administrators are focused on irrelevant things. The Black Star team is an ambassadorial team. The team is meant to serve as ambassadors of Ghana. You know, they raise high our national flag. Our national pride ought to be embedded in the team. You understand? So it's not just about kicking a ball around and kicking balls into goalposts and so on. It's much more than that. It's a team which will reflect our history, our ambitions as a people. It's a team which should reflect our place in the world. And all of this have to be taken into consideration. Unfortunately, many football administrators, first of all, don't even know our history. They don't identify with national aspirations. They don't understand the concept of the Black Star. You know, they just see it as the name of a team. They don't understand when James Brown sings and says, for example, that you know, I'm black and proud. They don't understand it.
Right.
They don't understand the context of apartheid and racism. They don't understand all of these contexts. So they make flippant decisions.
You've gone to pay your skin asset to go and ask a Pan-Africanist issue about Black Stars.
Black Stars, yeah, well.
Eh?
Yeah. You mean I've said it honestly?
Now we've gone to James Bond and know that.
No, but he's right. It's got to be black stars, not white stars. You know, we have white stars, you know.
In the end,
Obviously, let me take a
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.